Just I guess going back to parents, I sometimes feel that some parents don't understand how important it is for them to question. And I guess I tend to go back to, the school that I work for.
Mhm.
Um, the parents are foreigners, and for them, they don't understand that they have that right. They put so much trust in the teacher, and they feel whatever the teacher says goes. They don't question the teacher. And, in meeting some of the teachers at school, I think they're learning that, hey, it's okay to question. It is okay to investigate, because some of them don't do that.
Mhm.
If I'm sending the test folder home and you're just signing it, but the kid failed all of the assessments and you didn't request a meeting or you didn't question why it has been consistently the same grade, you have to understand as the parent, you have to then go question it. And it's me having those conversations thereafter at a parent teacher conference, letting them know this slot here where you're signing, you can write to me. You can question the assessments that I'm sending home. So, in that, I always wonder, like, how is it that we can encourage, parents who don't necessarily they weren't born here,
Mhm.
that they're allowed to do that. We have a lot of foreigners that come, and it's letting them know, stop just putting all of it on the teacher because they're in the school building. A lot of it does come home, and it's what happens at home that then circulates into the school, and it's a whole circle that allows it to be something that works,
Mm.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a bunch of stuff that's in there. One, I would say, I don't even think that's just foreigners. I think that's a lot of people because schools are an authority figure, and depending on how you feel about schools, right? You probably have a lot of respect for it. I think too, if you are talking about people that are not from here and there's a language barrier, they might not understand or know that, right? Without it explicitly being told to them. But I think three, again, depending on who I'm talking to, I put responsibility on them. So if I'm talking to you all as teachers, I'm giving you responsibility. If I'm talking to parents, I'm giving them responsibility. And if I'm talking to students, I'm giving them responsibility. It is our three branches of government. It is checks and balances. If everybody's doing what they need to, we could be okay. I just want to establish that before I answer. So if that is happening, like, let me offer a different perspective and then I'll answer. If you are a tired parent and you and your husband work and y'all got these kids and you get them dressed, you get them fed, you pick this school for particular reasons and you were told this and that and the third, you're expecting as a parent that these people are going to be doing their job. And if there's an issue, you're going to let me know, or vice versa. Right. And that is something, it can be counterintuitive. Most cultures, especially cultures of color, and this is me casting a wider net, are taught to not question authority in that way. It is unbecoming. It is uncouth. Ironically, the most letters that I've gotten for the agentic Black parent has been Asian immigrants. It has been first generation Asian immigrants whose kids were born here and they are not familiar with the American academic system. And they always apologize. They say, I know it says Black, but me and my family have been really using this, and it's been helpful because it is introducing concepts to them that's like, we wouldn't do that like that at home. You don't talk back to, like, these type of authority figures. I think that's one. So I think when you set the tone in the beginning of the school year, I think it's also having those conversations. I think it is putting it in, right? Like when you send that packet out to your kids, or you pin that letter to their backpack, or however it is that is working. I think you have to set that expectation and just like, listen, I'm gonna do the best I can by your kid. Here's your job in that communication, and here's what my job is gonna be, right? I think you have to establish that. I think that you have to keep talking about those things, and I think on the front end you got to reach out. And I think that as somebody who you are the leader of that classroom, especially in the elementary class, right? Like you got them all day, except for when they go do music or you take them outside and let them run around. You got them all day. So I think you have to kind of establish that piece. Now, when I'm talking to parents, I'm putting it all on them, saying I don't know nothing about Miss Miller and Miss Bartow. Like, so I don't know how good or how responsible, whatever, but you need to go in and make your presence felt. And you need to say, hey, I'm gonna meet with you twice a semester. And I want to know if my kid's falling behind. I want to know things early, right? Like, so but if you stress how important this is and you let them know and you do all you can over and over again, and then people are not doing what they need to do. I mean, this is not fairy tale land, man. This is why this is why I probably get play in education, because I don't think people just be talking about the good, like squishy type of stuff where everything always ends up as fairy dust, right? And it's like, it's great and Tinkerbell and we all can fly because we believe. And it's just not true. Like I watch videos of the Serengeti, man. Like they attack. And so what I'm saying is there's a nature course to this. You have to do everything in your power to try to make sure that that kid and that parent is on the right track. And many will be and some will not be. And you're going to have a new set of kids the next year. And I think the best way, if you can compassionately but fervently express that I'm going to do everything in my power, but you have a role and I can't do this without you. And if you don't do it after that, then there's a decision being made. And then life starts to happen. So it's not the best answer. It's not the cleanest answer. And I'm starting this thing called, you want the right answer or the real answer? The right answer is very fluffy and I got you. The real answer is what the hell I just said. And so, you know, I mean, that's what I would do. I would send an email. I would have an email template that quickly allows me to shoot out stuff, or a text template. So it doesn't, you know, it's not impending on my day, but like, listen, I'm communicating with you again. Like, we can save this baby, but I need your help. And again, when it's your vocation, it's going to worry you, right? And I like that you're asking this. And, you know, I used to teach teachers how to do home visits because I did them as a social worker. You know, that might be the place that you go if it's your vocation. And then your colleague down the hall is like, it's a job. And I'm off when I'm off. I'm teaching to rule. So that's what's going to happen, right? And so that's the reality. And parents that are watching this right now, you need to assume that ain't nobody got your best interest. Like, don't hope. Do the stuff on that you can control, and you might get lucky with a Miss Miller and a Miss Bartow.